Now, anytime that we talk about crazy price predictions in the XRP community, we have the Twitter thought police coming out of the woodworks to tell us that this is ridiculous, we're not allowed to talk about this, and how dare we speculate, ask God for forgiveness for your sins. Okay, so I'm going to see, maybe there's going to be some folks that come out of the woodworks when we talk about precious metals and some crazy price predictions. We got price predictions of $100 per ounce, $1,000 per ounce for one of these little coins right here, and then predictions of $5,000, $10,000 plus per ounce gold. Now, before I get into this precious metals update, I want to say one thing. I'm not here to give you any sort of financial advice, so please remember that. And when it comes to picking up the precious metals, we can help you do so. So just real quick, let me get this in. Linked up down below will be the links for our precious metals. If you're looking to get your 401k retirement account rolled over to precious metals, make an allocation through your retirement savings, we can do that. And then we also have an affiliate that will get the metals shipped directly to you. We got some of the best dealers, some of the best prices in the nation right now for getting your silver, getting your gold, rolling over a 401k retirement account savings. So now that I got that out of the way, let's get right on into this update. Now we have to provide some context before we throw out these crazy predictions. So let me break this down for you guys real quick. What we're looking at right now is a United States government fiscal situation that is not sustainable. And the monetary policy that is being perpetuated here into the 2020s here, when we opened up Pandora's box and now anything goes, has us running into trouble, right? And so we have this, this just came out here from Senator John Cornyn. The federal government will shut down in less than a month unless the funding bill is passed by September 30th. That's only, okay, yada, yada, yada. Oh, woe is me, right? The poor senator here complaining that if we don't get something done here, that the United States federal government is going to shut down. And I say, shut it down and keep it shut down. We don't need you. Don't need you for anything, right? But that's a side point. I'm not going to get into that. And I'm not going to get into whether or not they're actually going to shut down. That's not the point. The point is that we have a currency debt and liquidity crisis. Just like we talk about so often within the XRP, crypto community, the same thing applies and relates when we're talking about precious metals and why one might hedge or protect their wealth using precious metals when we look at just how bad this situation is. So just like before I talk about XRP doing something fun, before we can talk about precious metals doing something fun, we got to talk about why. We got to talk about how big the problems are that we're looking to solve. And when we look at this situation right now, you can see it. It's very clear the trend is not our friend when it comes to the United States. China's ownership of U.S. Treasury debt is down almost $481 billion from peak levels. The rate of selling is accelerating. For many years, the experts always doubted that China would dump our debt because of the impact on their own economy and currency. You can see how the line is steepening. China is getting out of U.S. debt and buying gold instead. So like I said, the trend is not our friend, and these countries are all doing the same thing. U.S. Treasuries dumped by China, and now BRICS member Saudi Arabia. So just like we put out our playlist about BRICS loving XRP, it's already very well known that BRICS loves their gold as well. And they're looking to tokenize real world commodities on DLT technology and settle outside of the US dollar. Now, when it comes to dumping our treasuries, it's happening at the fastest pace in decades. And this is our allies, right? Not our enemies, not our adversaries. This is our friends, Saudi Arabia. And what we see here is $114 billion in US treasuries dumped by China and new BRICS member Saudi Arabia. This just came out the other day. Now, what we're seeing across the world, whether you're in BRICS or not, is folks want the metals. Folks want real commodities, and they want to get out of the US dollar. And so now we're seeing demand for gold coins and bars among Iranian state and private citizens has surged significantly, with investment reaching 13 tons in the first few months of 2023. This is 26% more than what they would usually buy in the same time over the past 5 years. The trend, like I said, like I keep on bringing this up, the trend is not your friend. If you are the US government, or if you're part of the middle class and you're just trying to survive over here in the Main Street economy of America. As we lose our reserve currency status and these countries dump our bonds at the fastest pace in history, The trend is not our friend, but it can be if we align ourselves with the future of what will back the new financial system, of what will back the economies that will run the world. And that's what we're seeing right now. So the trend is right now, you have countries like Iran, Iranian state and private citizens are loading up. And you're seeing this out of India. You're seeing this out of, countries in the Middle East. You're seeing this out of countries like China. You're seeing this out of South America, Africa, you name it, right? And essentially the West is the ones that are, continuing this fraud, this Ponzi scheme that is the U.S. dollar reserve currency status and our standard, the U.S. dollar standard. We perpetuate this. Meanwhile, our own central banks here in the West are stacking record amounts of gold and getting positions on silver as well. Now, when we look historically, what we see is that the gold, relative to the size of the Fed's balance sheet, is more undervalued today than at any period in the past 100 years. Since 2008, the 4 rounds of easings have ballooned the size of the monetary base 9 times. The Fed printed money faster than gold appreciated over the last 23 years. So, like I said, they opened up Pandora's box in 2020, but even before that, over the last 23 years, basically since the turn of the century, we've gone nuts with the money printing, right? And we've created a new reality. And that's why we're losing the reserve currency status. That's why the U.S. Dollar standard, as we know it, is done. It is no longer a thing. And now we move on over, and I want to show you guys, this is from Investopedia, and this is the gold to silver ratio. For the whole of the 20th century, the average gold to silver ratio was 47 to 1. So basically, it took 47 ounces of silver to get you 1 ounce of gold. That's how this ratio works out. In the 21st century, the ratio has ranged mainly between the levels of 50 and 70 to 1, breaking above that point in 2018 with a peak of 104 to 1 in 2020. So in 2020, after we opened up Pandora's box, right? And in 2018, really, gold started to absolutely rip. Once again, gold started a bull run in 2018, and it peaked out with the gold to silver ratio in 2020. The lowest level for the ratio was 35 to 1 in 2011. Now, so I pulled up this chart here. This is the gold to silver ratio going all the way back to 1833, which is the fantastic thing about gold and silver. These two commodities have been traded for, thousands of years. And so the charts that we have go back a couple hundred years of good, solid data. But when we look at the modern economy, now notice we have the great, the roaring 20s, and, that ratio was all the way down to 1767. And then we saw in the 30s and into the 40s, that ratio spiked up. And then during the 70s is when that ratio started moving and getting volatile once again. And it did come on down here in 1982 to 9 was the gold to silver ratio in 1982, right? But in our modern economy, you look at what the ratio hit in 2011, and it was about 35, right? If we go back, what they say, it was about 35 to 1 or 30 to 1, depending on where you pull here. Why can't I get this exactly? 30 was the gold to silver ratio in 2011, depending on who you ask. 30 to 35 per ounce. Now, I went back and checked what the prices were at this time. And during 2011, gold had gone up above 1900, 1921 was the peak, and silver had gone up to $50, right? So it was about 50 per ounce silver, and it was about 1900 per ounce gold. Now here you see where we're at. We've been at about 75, and right now we're at about 80 to 1. So silver right now is trading at about $24 per ounce. It's about $23.86 at the time of this recording, and gold is at $19.37 at the time of this recording. And so that ratio, if we round up to about 24 per ounce for silver, we divide that up, it gives you about an 80 to 1 ratio. Now, if we were to go without gold moving, which wouldn't happen, but let's just, for sake of mass, let's take a look at what would happen, right? Without gold moving, if gold just stayed where it's at and silver started to recover, if we got that back to a more historical ratio of 60 to 1, you would be at 32 per ounce silver. And if we got down to the average during the previous century, we would be at 50 to 1, which would give us a price of $38 per ounce silver. So that's why people say that based off of the historical gold to silver ratio, you could see silver well above 30, 40, even $50 per ounce, just based off of the previous ratio. Now, I want to get into the price predictions. And so, like I said, before I share this with you guys, this is not my price predictions. I am not here to say in this video that silver is 100% going to $100 per ounce or $1,000 per ounce, or gold is going to $10,000 per ounce, or that XRP is for sure going to $10,000 per XRP. I'm not here to say that. I'm here to share others' opinions and price predictions, okay? And then we're going to formulate our thesis and kind of, what we think about these crazy price predictions, okay? So don't shoot the messenger. I'm reading somebody else's price predictions. Let's get right on into it. So we look at this article here from Investing News Network. Article here by Lauren Kelly, updated August 2023. Could the silver price really hit US $100 per ounce? And this has been updated in 2023 in August. Now, she is asking Keith Neumeyer, who is the CEO of First Majestic Silver. So probably someone who's going to be bullish on silver, right? Someone who's in the industry. But let's see what he has to say. The silver price made waves in 2020 when it rose above US $20 per ounce for the first time in 4 years. And the precious metal has largely stayed above that level since, even passing the US $26 mark in May of 2023. Nonetheless, well-known figure Keith Neumeyer, CEO of First Majestic Silver, has frequently said he believes the white metal could climb even higher, reaching into the triple digits. Neumeyer has voiced his opinion often, most recently discussing it in an August 2022 interview with Wall Street Silver. He put up a US $130 price target in a November 2017 interview and has reiterated his triple-digit silver price forecast in multiple interviews with Kitco. In March 2018, at the top of 2020, in May of 2021, in March of 2022, and the latest of March 2023. So the CEO of First Majestic Silver is bullish on silver. Go figure, right? Okay, so we understand that context, but at times he's even been more bold, suggesting the metal could reach $1,000 per ounce. Now, in the next article, I'm about to show you guys his price prediction for $1,000 per ounce. But before we do, why is Neumeyer calling for US $100 per ounce silver? He says there's a significant distance for silver to go before it reaches the success Neumeyer has boldly predicted. In fact, in order for the precious metal to jump to the US $100 mark, its price would have to increase from its current value by more than 350%. Neumeyer expects a triple-digit silver price, in part because he believes the current market cycle can be compared to the year 2000, when investors were sailing high on the dot-com bubble and mining sector was down. He thinks it's only a matter of time before the market corrects like it did in 2001 and 2002, and commodities see a big rebound in pricing. It was during this time that Neumeyer himself invested heavily in mining stocks and came out on top. Now, what do we have, right? We do have many similarities to the dot-com bubble, right? With crypto, with AI, with these overvalued tech stocks. We definitely see something similar. I've been calling for a triple-digit silver for a few years now, and I'm more enthused now, Neumeyer said at an event in January 2020, noting that there are multiple factors behind his reasoning. But I'm cautiously enthused because, I thought it would have happened sooner than it currently is happening. So like many of us in the XRP community, many of us in the precious metals community, many of us who have been tapped in, like myself, for the last decade on the Federal Reserve and the fiat money printing Ponzi scheme, we have been early, right? And we, have struggled to remain patient, but we have to look at all, consider all these factors that are still at play. And he says, in the August 2022 interview with Wall Street Silver, he reiterated his support for triple-digit silver, and he said he's fortunately not alone in this optimistic view. In fact, he's surpassed in that optimism. I actually saw someone the other day call for US $500 per ounce silver. I'm not quite sure I'm at that level. Give me US $50 first, and we'll see what happens after that. And this is the final point that I wanted to make. Another factor driving Neumeyer's position is his belief that the silver market is in a deficit. In a May 2021 interview, when presented with supply-side data from the Silver Institute indicating the biggest surplus in silver market history, Neumeyer was blunt in his skepticism. I think these numbers are made up. I wouldn't trust them at all. And he pointed out that the subtracting net investments in silver exchange traded products leaves the market in a deficit, and also questioned the methodology behind the Institute's recycling data, given that most recycled silver metal comes from privately owned smelters and refineries that typically don't make those figures public. Quote, I'm guessing the mining sector produced something in the order of 800, maybe 825 million ounces in 2022, Neumeier said when giving a Q4 2022 overview for his company. Consumption numbers look like they're somewhere between 1.2 and 1.4 billion ounces. That's due to all the great technologies, all the newfangled gadgets that we're consuming, electric vehicles, solar panels, windmills, you name it. All these technologies require silver. That's a pretty big supply deficit. March 2023 triple-digit silver call is a long-term call, and he explained that while he believes gold will break US $3,000 this year, he thinks silver will only reach $30 in 2023. However, once the gold-to-silver ratio is that unbalanced, he believes that silver will begin to take off, and it will just need a catalyst. So he called earlier this year for $3,000 per ounce gold, and that silver would only reach to $30. And he says it could be Elon Musk taking a position in the silver space. There's going to be a catalyst at some time, and headlines in the Wall Street Journal might talk about the silver supply deficit. I don't know what the catalyst will be, but investors and institutions will wake up to the fundamentals of the metal, and that's when it will start to move. Now, the report that we are running with and that we've been sharing so many times is that silver was at a 230 million ounce deficit last year in 2022. That's the data that we have. That we had a tremendous deficit last year. Now we've seen in rallies here of late. We saw rallies recently during the BRICS summit, and we have not gotten our 3,000 per ounce gold, and we have not gotten our $30 per ounce silver yet. But what is brewing right now? Let's take a look. So this is the 1,000 per ounce forecast from the same gentleman, Keith Neumeier, CEO of First Majestic Silver. Now, he said this in a YouTube video right here, that if gold hits $10,000 per ounce, this silver will be going to 1,000. So, right. He says it starts with gold. I'm a big bull on gold. I think we're going to see a major reset of the world. Now, this price prediction came out in 2016. Something to remember right here. This price prediction is from way back, right? And as I just showed you guys in the last article, this guy's been throwing out price predictions all the way from $3,000 per ounce this year, all the way up to $10,000 after we get what? A major reset of the world. Are we living through that right now? Yeah, we are. He added, in some of the upper circles, I think it's pretty well understood that the debt in the world is never going to be paid off. We have to have some kind of major reset that's likely going to include gold. Now, we started out the episode by giving you guys that context. We're facing another government shutdown this year. We're seeing China dump 481 billion from the peak levels of U.S. Treasury debt. And then we see 114 billion in U.S. Treasuries dumped by China and new BRICS members, Saudi Arabia. So we have a major reset that is underway. We have a serious debt problem and crisis here in the United States, and this is only getting started. And now we look at this. I wanted to add this note here too. In some of the upper circles, see the sophisticated investors, right? The smart money, they are front running this thing, right? He says, I've been quoted many times saying I expect to see triple-digit silver. And that's assuming that gold doesn't move. If gold goes to 10,000, then silver will be some ridiculous number, could even be $1,000 silver. Neumeier also said that current prices of gold and silver do not reflect the rate at which these metals are being mined. Right now, for 1 ounce of gold, we are only mining 9 ounces of silver. So that would suggest that we should be trading at 9 to 1, which will put at $1,200 an ounce gold, $130, $140 silver. If you look at where we're mining today, that's where silver should be trading. We are trading at 73 or 75 to 1, and I just don't think that that ratio can last. Now, note that $1,000 silver means the price of the gray metal would go up by 6,000%. Now, this is back in 2016, so those numbers would change from where we're at right now, right? And then he says at $1,200 gold, we would be at $130 to $140 silver if we were to actually reflect what we're mining, gold to silver comparison, right? So like I said, I'm not here to, give you guys a prediction of silver going to 100, gold going to 10,000. I know that the likes of Jim Rickards has also noted sentiment of gold going to $5,000 within the next couple years, but eventually actually surpassing 10,000, upwards of 15 to 20,000 per ounce gold. So what does silver do in that scenario? Something fun, I'll tell you that much. Not $24 for 1 ounce. I don't think so, right? And I wanted to finish it up. One of our favorites in the XRP community on the technical analysis front is EG Reg Crypto, and he shows us here the roadmap, gold to 3,000. The resemblances in the price fluctuations are unmistakable. Should gold ever revisit the $2,000 to $2,100 range, prepare for a meteoric ascent. Bear in mind, gold acts as your safeguard, not a pathway to 10x or 100x profits. Now we look here, this is EG Reg Crypto, and he's showing where we're at and where we could potentially be going from here on the price targets of 3,000 per ounce gold. So where do we go from here? I just see that their ability to rig the precious metals markets have been exposed with JP Morgan, a couple of their traders getting thrown under the bus and having to go do some jail time. We're seeing that these guys have gotten caught and busted rigging these markets. We see that there's a debt, currency, and liquidity crisis facing all sovereign governments across the planet, right? And then we see a desire to reset this whole financial system and return to an asset-backed currency in many nations and neutral reserve currencies across the world. What are neutral reserve currencies? Gold, silver. We talk about XRP as well, right? But as I said at the start, you guys know what to do. If you're looking to get precious metals, we've linked up with some affiliates down below who can help you roll over your 401k retirement account if you're looking to make an allocation with your retirement savings, or if you want to hold that shiny metal, that little pet rock in your own hands, just like I do. And for whatever reason, folks get so mad that I show my silver coin here. My little buffalo head triggers some people. I don't know why. For me, you have to understand what EG Reg Crypto just said. I want to reiterate the point. For me, precious metals is a hedge. It's how I protect my wealth. And I show you guys how I make it, how I protect it, and how I try to multiply it. Now, I'm protecting with precious metals, but I do expect to multiply the investment that I made here in silver over the last year. My average price under $30 after I've paid my premium, after I've done everything, all in, I'm still at under $30 per ounce. And I think that I could easily double that up over the next couple years. I think that once again, we've gotten the timeline wrong. The timeline has been extended, but once we do get the reset, once we do get the breakout, once we do reset, restructure all currencies and debts, we're not at $24 per ounce silver. We're not at 2,000 per ounce gold. And I don't think that we'll be at a 50-cent XRP either. So let me know what your price prediction is for gold and silver in the comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. I got some more precious metals content coming for you guys, but this one was long due. So I hope you guys enjoyed this precious metals update. If you guys did, please smash that thumbs up for me on the way out. And if you guys want to do me a big favor, share this message out far and wide so that other folks can get tapped in. And like I said, we got some great affiliates down below if you are looking to get tapped in with some precious metals. I appreciate all of you guys so much. We'll see you in the next one. God bless.